Okay, this is gonna be a fun one. I think we'll have a good time here. This was just for the thumbnail purposes. Is there a way to reset this? Reset. Oh, I gotta re-upload them all. Oh, well, 1 second. It'll take like real quick. Okay. Whoopsies. Saw nothing. Okay, I hope some of you come in here for this because this will be fun to discuss with you guys. But yeah, we're just gonna rank here every single season of Fortnite. And now that Chapter 6 is coming to a finish and the new season starts tomorrow, we can finally have a full judgment of Chapter 6 Season 1. And yeah, let's cut to the chase and put Chapter 2 Season 2 at S. Spoiler alert, I probably will be at S for sure. But I can't, I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. We're just going to, they're all kind of randomized here, which is fine. I kind of like being random with it. So first up, we just got Chapter 6 Season 1. The freshest season here. Just got done with it, and I gotta say, this season, in my opinion, was a very, very good one. I had a lot of fun with it. I've gotten the most crowns I've ever gotten, so that means the most wins I've probably ever gotten in a season. And I'm very impressed. They kept up with it. They kept it fun. The meta was pretty good. The swords are the only thing that is a super downfall of this season. Is the stupid swords. But I like the Sentinel Pump. I love the Twister. The Twister is probably one of the most overpowered guns I've ever seen in my life, or ARs, I should say. And yeah, it's just a good season. The introduction of like the Typhoon, the Void Mask, and the POIs are pretty good. I do like this new map. It's a pretty solid map. Probably not my favorite map. I think it's safe to say. Oh yeah, I can't forget about Godzilla. Godzilla was a great update, the whole edition of that, and how they incorporated that we can become Godzilla. Very good choice. Overall, just made it a very likable season. I had a lot of fun. It was great. So I'm gonna put it at top of A for now. Oh shoot, let me change this to landscape images. Let's get the full key art in there. I'm gonna put it in top of A tier right now. It might get bumped out to S tier, but it's top of A, and it might remain top of A. Obviously, maybe if I do this video or stream again in the future, my opinions will change, and these seasons might not be as highly ranked or lowly ranked as they once were. Ooh, now we got a controversial one. We got Wrecked. This is Chapter 5, Season 3, and this is probably one of the community's most hated seasons of all time, and I can see why. This was a complete meta change. They absolutely took a risk and just changed it from using guns pretty much to just only using cars, which that's a different style. We never seen that in Fortnite, so I respect them in that aspect. However, I don't think Wrecked was good if you knew how to handle the car problem. Yes, so the car problem was pretty hectic at first because obviously everything was new to us at the beginning of it. But they slowly nerfed the vehicles over time. The boss vehicles were the main cause of the hate for the season. But personally, it wasn't the cars for me that didn't make me. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't hate this season as much as people do. I really don't. But it wasn't the cars that brought it down for me. I thought the cars were actually kind of fun and it changed the meta. I loved the chaos of this season. I think chaos in this game is fun. But I think what really kind of just a little bit dwindled it down was the Nitro Fist and the Magneto Fist. The Magneto Fist didn't come till the end, but the Nitro Fists were just so jarring to go against. I swear every time I got in a box with somebody, or just even in a build battle, they would whip out Nitro Fist and just start swinging around. And then you get in a build fight, they'd do the uppercut and slam you, and you go flying. Oh, the Nitro Fists are just so. They pissed me off. And a lot of my. I don't know if I streamed much during that season. I might have. But a lot of my videos and my streams, you could probably see the reoccurring theme of me just getting wrecked by Nitro Fist. So that was just a major thing. And then the Magneto Fist came, and those were just kind of stupid. People would be hovering in the air and just throwing those balls down on you. It was just a mess with that. Joey said they basically wasted the car attachments, removing them after one season. It feels like a waste. Why did they add it if you're never? I think it was because they got so much bad feedback from the season. Like all of the content creators, all of the pros were complaining about it. I actually saw a comment about this season, and I agree with them. People only started hating the season until the pros and the content creators were complaining about it. Because at first, everyone was posting about it. Everyone was just, they're showing love for it at first because they're like, wow, this is different. But then as soon as the bigger people started complaining about it, people were like, yeah, wait, never mind, this season isn't that good. So that just shows the I don't know what kind of effect that is, but like, yeah, it's kind of like sheep in a crowd. People follow the sheep following the herd. I agree with that, Joey. So yeah, I do think this is overhated. I will say the POIs kind of sucked um this season. The shark boat was cool, but it was in a bad location. If it was like middle of the map, it probably would have been cooler, but it wouldn't have made sense because it's a ship. Um, the rig, I honestly forget what it was called, but that big rig place that looked like an engine, it was okay. And then Nitrodome was probably the coolest one out of them all. I'm gonna put this one at C tier. I don't think it's D tier for me. I don't think it's. I don't think I could put it in B, but I think I could put it in C. I don't think it's the worst season ever. I don't think it was the worst season ever. I like the chaos, and at many times this season made me rage. Oh yeah, I gotta say one bias with the season is the Metallica collab came in this season. So for me, that also bumps it out of the low end for me. That could bump it up to bottom of B tier. We'll see. We'll see. We'll rearrange once we're done, but we'll put it there for now. Underground. Okay. This might be a hot take. This might be a big hot take. This is one of my personal favorite seasons. This might be in my top 5 personal favorite seasons. I loved the addition of the Reaper sniper rifle. One of the greatest snipers ever, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I loved this season so much is because the sniping was just so fun and so good. The POIs, I loved like all of the underground bunkers. Like I used to land at that little like shipping box factory, and then they had like the giant underground area like right next to it. That was my landing spot. You get kitted out with those like little weapon cases that you'd open. Oh man, I think the addition of weapon attachments was cool, and I'm kind of sad they're gone with this new chapter. I'm not like I'm not like mad they're gone, but like they were cool, and I do think they added something. Like I think they could even add attachments to hit scan weapons, but I don't know. I can see why they went away with it. I will say like the bullet drop off projectile, it wasn't my favorite. I do prefer hit scan weapons, although I'm seeing like in this season I just get absolutely lasered. But I love this season, man. The medallions were great. Like these were probably the best editions of medallions we've seen, in my opinion. Like they're just so clean. Every medallion like worked together because if you got one medallion, well, when they first came out, they were super overpowered. But then we'll just go based off the nerf version, where if you get one medallion, then a second medallion, you get up to 60, then 70 shield. So that was just really cool, and the medallions were just such a unique feature at the time. And then like all of the mythics, the Peter Pump, we got addition of Peter Griffin, the Oscar Frenzy auto shotgun. This was a good season. And then I forgot about the little grappler thing. A lot of things changed with the season. The movement was a bit whack at first, but once everyone got used to it, perfect. It was perfect. The overall vibes of the season were great too. Amazing battle pass. Fencing fields is another great POI. I can't forget about that. But the vibes, everyone loved the battle pass. The battle pass is really good. I've seen so much people making memes about this season, like especially with the weekend and the popular song. Like, dude, I think it was probably one of the best because it added a lot. Yeah, exactly. There's just so much new in this season. It just felt so fresh. It felt like a new Fortnite. It really did. So for me, I got to put this one in S tier. And I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but it's in my S tier. I don't know if it's going to be remaining number 1 though. I think there's a few that might be above it. Okay. Here is a one that was not a good one. Okay, we got Chapter 2, Season 6, and this is one where I agree with the majority of the community on that this is probably one of the worst seasons of Fortnite I've probably ever played. Don't get me wrong, I loved the bows. The bow aspect of this was it was good. I like bows. I think Fortnite should add another season with bows again. The crafting though is what really made this season just stink, man. All of those makeshift weapons just they sucked. And then the POIs they all sucked. The spider was cool looking, but it was not fun to fight in. Bony burbs sucked. The colossal crops sucked. Like there was not like a awesome POI. So this season just didn't hit the spot, man. Like the crafting system really ruined it. And then you had raptors running around, and those guys were just those guys were annoying. I'm glad Fortnite kind of went away with the wild animals. But yeah, I agree with the majority of the people. This season just wasn't it. It's a D tier, and I think we all know it. And yeah, Fortnite messed up on that one. It's okay. They're gonna have some mistakes. Okay, here we go. The original Fortnite season, and I am an OG player. I played this season, so I can actually have a full opinion of everything here. And I must say, I forgot to say in the beginning of this before I started, I'm not including the 1 month long seasons of like Fortnite Remix and then Fortnite OG. I'm not including those because those weren't really seasons. Those were just kind of like in betweens or breaks. So we got the original start of Chapter 1, Season 1 of Fortnite. And, it was glorious. I mean, it was a new game. It was a fresh start. It was very simple. We got to relive it now that they brought back the Fortnite OG. We're in Season 2 now, but they had Season 1. We got to relive it. And honestly, like, reliving it in the mode, it kind of sucked because you just realize how much, like, how much of a bare bones mode it was back then. But I think that was the beauty of it back then. We're so used to everything now with how the chaos and mechanics, and we're so like overstimulated with things in Fortnite right now, and we're so used to it. So like when we got stripped back to the bare bones, we're like, what the heck is this? Why would we want to go back to this? But at the time, this was it, and this is all we knew. So it was beautiful. Like it was just vibing with your friends. It was having a good time with your friends, and just it felt good to get a victory royale. It felt good to like achieve anything in this game because it was all so new. So I don't think it's I don't think it's up there with my personal favorites because personally there's some more nostalgic seasons for me, but it was when I started the game and I do remember most of it, and I do think back at it sometimes with those OG memories. So I'm gonna put this at top of A. So Chapter 6 Season 1 got bumped back a little. It's gonna happen because you got to make room for it. But I don't think it's an S tier season. I think there's better. I think Fortnite really hit the nail on some. Okay, now this is gonna be a hot take. I know a lot of people I think loved this season, but I absolutely hated the season. This is probably one of the seasons that I played the least amount of Fortnite with. I pretty much went and just played some other games, and I know I did stream a lot, but there was a point where I just like I couldn't do it anymore. The POIs like the reality biome, the reality tree biome, it was cool. It was cool looking, but I don't know. It just wasn't like I don't know. I can't really explain why I just didn't like this. I think it was just kind of boring to me, and the weapon loot pool at the time, I don't think was great. I know we had like the two shot shotgun or some crap and some other bad weapons. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of this season at all. I don't know if it's worse than Primal for me, but it might be. It might be. What do you think, Joey? What is your opinion on vibing? I want to see if you can change my opinion at all. I mean, you probably won't because this season just I didn't play much of it because I just didn't enjoy it at the time. You almost quit Fortnite there. Okay, so you're on the same page as me. I wasn't like on the point of quitting Fortnite, but I just was so like I wasn't like into it. I wasn't like having fun. We did get the we did get the Goku collab, right? Dragon Ball Z. I think we did get that during this season, and we had Darth Vader, which was kind of cool. So there were some highlights, but they just weren't like super hype for me. Yeah, it was a very dull season. I think it's D tier. Is it below Primal? Oh, I honestly think I played more during Primal than I did Vibing. I don't know. I'm gonna put it below Primal. I think it might be worse than Primal for me. You did below Primal too. Yeah, I think it's just I don't know. There's no specific reason, but like you said, it's just bland. It's a bland season. Okay, we got Chapter 3, Season 4. Now this season, a lot of people hated, and I wasn't. I don't think this is a great season, but I definitely don't think. I don't think it's the worst. It could be D tier. The Chrome was a cool feature, but the I think the loop pool was kind of bad. The only thing that I liked about this season was those big. I really loved the hot air balloons flying around. I don't know why. I just remember going up on top of those and sniping people off of them. With the that three that I forget. I think it was called the Hunter's Bolt action or something like that. That sniper that shot three bullets without having to reload. That was good. And then the key crates. I remember the key crates were also a big thing for me. I don't know why. I really liked the keys. And the map was consistently changing. They kind of got like ruined though, but they did kind of consistently change the map in this season because the Chrome was taking over and it was like going after POIs. So all the POIs would like float or lift above. So it was kind of, to me it wasn't worse than Vibing, but it wasn't great. Like the Chrome mechanic, like doing the blobs, it was a cool idea, but it just didn't work. No one used it. No one cared. The evil Chrome weapons, they just sucked. The Herald Sanctum POI, it was kind of, no one really landed there. It kind of sucked. It was hard to fight in. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worse than Vibing for me because I remember I did pick up the game and play it a little bit more. But I'm gonna put it actually top of D. Oops. I'll put it top of D there. Okay. Man, all the chapter 3 seasons are just right away in the row here. Okay, so we got chapter 3 season 2. I like this season. I think it was solid. I think it was solid. Um I love the blimps part of the season. The blimps. I remember the tanks, dude. The tanks were overpowered. Overpowered. I remember I made a video where like we just carried gas and torches, blow torches, and we just kept the tank alive the entire game. No one could like take down our tank because one person would consistently just heal the thing, one person would be consistently fueling it, and then one's just driving and blowing up stuff. So like it was that was a fun time for me. Woot pool was good. Again, the blimps were a fun aspect. Command Cavern, really fun POI. I loved the fact where POIs would like get taken over. Like there was a war in POI, so each week there was like a different battle going on. And I remember one of my favorite POIs in that chapter was Coney Crossroads, and I remember like the blimp going right above Coney, and I'd always land on the blimp, go down to Coney. It was cool because the map was kind of ever changing slowly. So I like this one. We did get a live event with this season. This was like Donald Mustard's last live event, I'm pretty sure. So kind of memorable in that aspect. It was a cool one. In the Battle Pass side, we got Doctor Strange. I remember the Daily Bugle. I mean, that Daily Bugle was in Chapter 3, Season 1, but still, it carried over. Um, yeah, I really liked this season. I don't think it was great though. I think it's just a perfect B tier season. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was amazing. You miss Coney? Yeah, dude. I missed the Chapter 3 map. I really wish they would have just kind of kept going on it, but I don't know. They've put out some new maps or some. They since they put out new maps, they put out some good ones. So yeah, okay. Chapter 2, Season 8. Okay. This one, I remember being really hyped for it at the time, but I remember just being like devastated towards the end of it. It looks super cool after the event, like the thought of Kevin the Cubes being around the map and everything, but I don't think I really liked this season much. It was kind of a bad one looking back at it. Once the cubes started rolling around the map and making like the whole map like corrupted and orange. Yeah, I liked it at the start of it too. Like when the Venom mythics were in the game, that was a fun time. Like that was like probably the peak point of that season was when the Venom mythics were in the game. But then when they got removed, it was kind of back to the old grind. Those big Gravedigger guys would walk around the map. Those guys were kind of annoying when you came across them. They kind of griefed. Um, and then they had like where the thing where you could like change the whole POI to the what do they call that dimension? Like the it's like the flip side or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like it'd create those big bubbles and there'd be all the zombies and you can get the loot and the cubes and stuff inside of it. Like cool concept, but it just made it more annoying in Fortnite. It was kind of like another thing where you had to another hassle that you just shouldn't have to do. It's just another obstacle. Um, yeah, it just wasn't good. Then they kind of just ruined the middle of the map. They put like all those uh they put all those like freaking big cube land. The pyramid kind of looked cool. It looked cool, but yeah, the season was a bit of a flop. Battle Pass kind of sucked, except Carnage. Carnage was cool. They had that unicorn guy. Yeah, it wasn't a great one. It was a very big letdown from the previous season of season 7. So I don't think this one is as bad as these ones, so I'm gonna put it at bottom of C for now. But it just this wasn't good. The whole flip side thing just wasn't doing it for me. Okay, we got chapter 2, season 5. I hated this season. I really did. I really did not like this season at all. I don't know why. I didn't think the desert biome was fun. I thought all of the collabs was like too much, and they're like, I don't know, they're just trying to do too much, and I think it just kind of ultimately flopped. But yeah, I hated this. I hated the sand biome. The only thing I liked of it was the butter barn. It did introduce the butter barn, which was kind of cool. But POIs kind of sucked. Hunter's Haven. It was a mid POI. We did get introduction of yeah, butter barn did carry this season a little bit, but I didn't really like this season at all. It just was kind of lame. Whoopoo kind of lame. The sand tunneling was pretty much out the entire season, and that was like the whole cool feature of like sand tunneling around and stuff. But then we ended up having to use like those 0 point crystals. They gave you little dashes, but looking back at it, those dashes were a lot weaker. We did get them back here recently with the Godzilla, but they're a lot weaker than what we got in like chapter 5 season 2 with um the skulls. The skulls were a way better version of dashes. That's how they should have been back then. So the PO yeah, again the POIs, the Coliseum just sucked. Mandalorian was kind of cool. The sniper and jetpack weren't like really worth going for. Um, yeah, I don't know. This season is just very boring to me. I think we got Air Royale back in this, but that I'm not really counting that towards like the season itself. That's just more of an LTM. But I remember playing that more than I did the Battle Royale. Uh, yeah, not a good one for me. I remember I just thought the season was bad. So we'll put it top of D tier. Actually no. I think Paradise was better. I'm gonna put it there. I think Paradise was better for me, honestly. Okay. So this was we're getting to the cooking. We're about to cook here. Chapter 2 season 3. Chapter 2 season 3. I call this like the A for effort. Yeah, yeah. I do give them an A for effort because they had like a cool live event going into. Well, it was the beginning of chapter 6. It was a cool concept. I like the whole like 0 point um being unstable. They had this was back when Fortnite had stories still, so I can respect it in the aspect of the story. It was cool of Jonesy trying to heal all the portos and from leaking out, and that's why we got all the collabs because poor different realities were coming in. But it was cool watching the live event where it got so unstable. The Rock had to I call him the Rock, but the Foundation had to come in. The storyline aspect cool, it was good, but the season itself just very very lame. I will say I think we did get exotics introduced that season as well. So I guess there was cool things. We did get what's his name? Predator, I believe, right? Is that the Predator season? I know I'm still rambling. I'm supposed to be moving on, but I think we did get Predator that season. Or am I tripping? Am I tripping, Joey? Did Predator come in chapter 2? I swear it did because I thought it brought Stealthy Stronghold. I don't know. But even then, Predator stuff sucked and Stealthy Stronghold sucked. Okay. Chapter 2, Season 3. I call this like the in between season. Yeah, okay, so it was this. Okay, I was right. All right, Chapter 2, Season 3. This is what I call the in between season, but not in like a bad way. I call it the in between season because it was between two of the greatest seasons, but this season was just like people. I don't want to spoil too much, but like people remember Chapter 2 season 2, and people remember Chapter 2 season 4, but like this season in between also was good, but like no one remembers it for some reason. This was when the map all flooded, and the flooded map to me was cool. I kind of wish they didn't drain it because I loved when the water was on the map. It felt like a different Fortnite, honestly, because like you had to maneuver around the map a lot different than you were used to ever because nothing ever like changed that drastically in Fortnite before map wise. So that was really cool. I liked the POIs, the Fortilla and the rig, and everything was cool. We got introduction to cars, um, which was honestly one of the greatest things ever because they're still here to this day. And if we didn't have cars, it'd be really hard to move around in Fortnite. Mythics were good. We had the Authority with Jules' drum gun, which was a nerf version of Midas's, but still was good. And then we had what mainly people went for her was the grappler. We had Ocean's Chug Jug and Og. Um, I remember landing at the yacht that was like all in rubble that season. It was yeah, I loved when the water was on the map of this season because like um it was fun finding like little boats that you can like roll up on. Like there's this like little what do you call the barges I guess more so that just had some loot on them. So like you'd just be like wandering around the map and just have occasional barges, but they slowly disappear and move around over time. Oh, they frick man, was it this season that had like the party barge that had like all of the good chests, the like secret. It wasn't in the same spot every map or every match. It was like in a different spot that had like a supply drop on it, and then it had like a bunch of other good chests and stuff too. Was that I believe that was this season, and that was like what everyone went for. That was a cool little thing. That little boat that just was in a different place every match, and you look out for it. Hunting rifles were in this season. I remember hitting some good snipes. Ooh, I just saw some. This season did have those frickin' Marauders. Oh, I don't miss those guys. I do not miss Marauders. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a downfall for me. But the Marauders didn't complete. I honestly, until I just refreshed my memory, I kind of forgot about them. So yeah, this was a solid season. This was a solid season. I had a lot of fun. I remember when I this might have been the first season where like me and my friends like really started playing like Arena at the time and like grinding Arena when Arena existed. It was a good season. Oh, and then I can't even forget like the customizable umbrella, like the whole like theming. I wish Fortnite would go back to this. Like when you loaded up in Fortnite, it felt like you were in like a different game because like the UI of the home screen, the lobby, was just so cool and interactable. Like there's different areas you can go. I don't know why Fortnite went away with that because that was so cool. Um, so that kind of carries it too a little bit. I will say the charged shotgun meta, it wasn't great, and I would have probably preferred if the pump was in this season probably would have been top 10. Um, but I think it's a solid A tier. It was the season with Party Boat. Gotcha. That was a good. It's a good season. It's a good season. But here is a god season, man. I think we already know. I don't even think there's much explanation for this one. Just the memories. COVID, honestly, COVID probably kind of carried this season a bit because I had so much downtime and I was grinding the crap out of the season. But this season felt so fresh, so fun. The mythics were amazing. The POIs are amazing. We still ask for these POIs back to this day, like on our maps. Agency, Shark, Grotto, man, greatest POIs of all time. One of the greatest battle passes of all time. The whole, again, like the whole interactable UI of the lobby where you go into like different doors and they had cut scenes and everything like that. The build up to the live event where you go into Midas's room and just see like a unveiling every now. Oh man, they did this season so well. This was such peak Fortnite. Again, the mythics. Oh, just take me back. And then not to mention, they dropped the bomb on us and dropped. Well, they had 2 live events this season. Travis Scott concert, one of the best concerts of all time. And then the Device event was one of the greatest too. I missed it, bro, and I never even got to watch it because my game crashed, man. Or actually, I don't think it even crashed. I remember my audio being bugged and I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't even hear my lobby. I couldn't hear my friend talking. So I restarted and then I got put in a queue. So that kind of sucked. This season was so good. And then they on top of it all, they were just so cooking this season. On top of it all, they had all of those like operation modes. They had Operation Knockout, Operation Payload. I forget some of the other ones, but Knockout was my favorite. All of them were so good, and it was just like another just like bonus LTM on top of it. I really hope with this new season we're going into, the Lawless season, I really hope they cook with it because I think it can be very similar vibes to this as long as they do it well. I'm just really kind of worried that they kind of, what am I trying to say here? Um, I'm too worried they try to like overdo it in a way, like they, because sometimes simplicity is best. So I'm worried they're gonna try to like overdo it, but I don't think they will. Um, yeah, this season's just so good, man. I'm pretty sure in the Lawless season they're trying to bring back what was the game mode called, the Getaway LTM. They're trying to bring that back in a different way. Apparently, it's gonna be like a ranked and stuff. So if they do that, that could probably be a good cook there. This season was so good. And they ruined it with Chapter 2 Rewind by making it all rappers. Yeah, it was definitely just a promo season. I honestly, the remix season, it was kind of. I was so excited for the Chapter 2 map to come back. I played it for about a week. I mean, I played the whole season, but I played it for about a week, but then I was just like, I kind of just want to move on already. I didn't really care anymore. It was cool to have it back, but then the vibes kind of just went away really fast with that remix. But yeah, Chapter 2, Season 2, this was just so good. The whole like timing and everything of this season was just build up, everything, story, everything was just so good. This was just peak Fortnite. And the majority of the community can agree. So this is top of S tier, and it will always be. I don't know. I don't know if anything can ever take it down. We'll see. Okay, Chapter 2, Season 7. This one, this one was kind of a cook. You know, I remember at the time, I didn't really fully enjoy it, but as I played more Fortnite seasons, gone through more chapters, you know, I kind of look back at this one and I remember a lot more from it, and I kind of get a lot more nostalgia. This one I think was a very kind of different season. I remember all the planes came, this Infinity Sword. Fortnite was trying to take it up a notch with the game. They were definitely. Oh, that's wrong. That's the wrong season 7. Wrong season 7. That's chapter 2. Did I say chapter 2? I meant chapter 1. I might have said chapter 2. I don't know. Chapter 1 season 7. If I said chapter 2, my bad. But chapter 1 season 7. Um it was a solid battle pass. The Ice King was cool. Polar Peak was very cool. I was kind of sad that Greasy got iced over. The snow biome was cool. But I remember the planes being like really dumb overpowered. I think you know, like one thing that really carries this season is like the Winterfest. Um, they did a really good job with it during that time. I remember they were just like releasing new skins every day. The whole Christmas vibe of the season was great. That's probably like what's carrying it. Drift boards, I believe, were in the game, which was fun. It was a very long season. I remember it being like one of the longer seasons. It kind of got delayed a bit. Live event, we didn't even have one. It was just kind of, well, there was, but it was just kind of, it's kind of bad. It was just the Ice King doing some ice ball crap. Um, yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those seasons that was good. It has some nostalgia, but it wasn't a bad one. I think I just put it right at B. I think it's perfect at B tier. Okay, Chapter 1, Season 3. So this is when Fortnite's popularity just started to skyrocket, man. Like this is when I remember I was like a freshman in high school. I remember I walked into class and people were talking about Fortnite now. Like people were just like, "Yeah, let's hop on. Let's." People were asking me to play with them, and people were going on their phones when Fortnite Mobile was like a huge thing, and playing freaking Fortnite in class and dropping tilted. This was a good season. I remember, I don't know why for me the hand cannon was just so iconic during this season. I don't know why. Then they added like the whole Japanese elemental or Chinese, I don't know. Lucky Landing came and they had like the little towers around the map. Our first like build up in the story started here. This is like where the comet was in the sky, and I remember so much people were just like so curious. What the heck is this? Because this has never been seen before in a video game. What is this big thing in the sky? And I remember watching all the videos trying to figure out. It was a fun season. Honestly, the loot pool didn't like change drastically between in the early seasons. Um, but they did add some new things. Fortnite was like adding consistent new weapons and things, items like every week that during that point. And I can't remember exactly like what came in season 3, but for me, I don't know why the hand cannon is like one of those that just stick out to me. Um, I remember being like seeing all that. Oh yeah. That was cool. That was cool. The build up to the. Wasn't that season 8 though that the eye was in the Polar Peak? The meteor was a spoiler for the Kraken event. Yeah, we still need that. I feel like Fortnite's just gotta like give into the community for all of the Kraken event conspiracies that like have gone on in Fortnite. All of the videos out there about Kraken event happening, they should just do it. Like they should just have a giant freaking Kraken just absolutely destroy a POI or something. But yeah, chapter 1, season 3, it was good, man. Like there's no complaints. I don't remember having a single complaint. I remember all the nostalgia, and like I said, all my friends were like really getting into Fortnite then. So I think it's not. I think it is better than season 1. For yeah, definitely better than season one. Double pumping was still a thing. I mean, it was here too, but the vibes are just so good back in the OG days. We'll put it top of A. Okay. Oh, here we go. Chapter two. Chapter two. Chapter one. Season two. Another cook, man. The Knights. Great battle pass. I don't have this one, and I'm so pissed off. I mean, I played during the time, but I just didn't buy it because I at this point Fortnite wasn't like huge yet, so I didn't want to like spend money, and I was still like a little freshman in high school, so I didn't have much money. So I just didn't buy it, and I'm pissed off I didn't because I was a grinder, and I did get all 70 levels. I have all the free stuff. I really could have gotten it. But this season was great. I mean, this season pretty much introduced Tilted. I don't think it came right with season two launch. I know it definitely didn't. And it might. I can't remember if season two, or sorry, I can't remember if the Tilted Towers update was season one. Like if it came right before season two started, but I'm pretty sure Tilted Towers came shortly after season two started. I can't remember. That was a long time ago now. But even then, I still like remember this season as the Tilted Towers season. This is just when the icon of all POIs came into the game, and the map just felt super new, super fresh. And this is just when things started kicking off. It's got to be A tier, and I think it is above. Um, I don't like how Chapter 6 Season 1 is getting pushed back a little because to me it was a good season, but like I said, I'll rearrange towards the end. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, Chapter 4 Season 4. Our first Chapter 4 season we're ranking. Perfect. Okay, Chapter 4 Season 4. This season, it looked very hype, but as it got towards the end of it, I remember I just was like waiting for the new map to come on. I just kind of got over the season really fast. Um, it was a cool season. This was like another heist season. I know they were trying to go back to like having the Chapter 2 Season 2 vibes, but they did it in a different way. I remember like breaking into the vault. The vaults were never really worth going for. They had sometimes good weapons in them, but like I remember most of the time people just didn't go to those POIs at all. The only one people really went to was Kato Thorns. I don't remember what the POI was called. Season felt like a filler season. It really did. That's actually a good explanation for it. It really did feel like a filler. The POIs were cool. The POIs were cool. Like the big mansions, they looked cool. They were fun to fight in. Like they were actually like not a bad place to fight. But yeah, the vaults were just kind of not worth it. They should have made the vaults just way more powerful and like way more like have a desire to need to go for it. Rocket Rams, cool additions. Rocket Rams are cool additions. They're kind of annoying at times. It can be annoying. Um, it was good. And the Whoop was good. I love the shotguns. We still had I think the Havoc in the game at this point, and I remember we had the Twin Meg, AR, which is one of the best ARs of all time too. So Whoop wise, it was solid. Um, I think a filler belongs right at B. What did you say? They brought back the nerf versions of the mythics, which I hated. Yeah, exactly. Like the mythics they chose were, yeah, they're either nerfed or they're just bad. You know what they should have done was like they really should have rotated the mythics in the vaults each week. So like I don't know, you had the chance of getting like I don't know Brutus's minigun, Sky Scar. I can't remember what mythics. I remember the drum gun and the MK Foundation's MK7 was in there. So those are probably like the go-tos, but it wasn't guaranteed every time. So like different vaults had different loot in them. So it just you land at a POI and you're not guaranteed a good weapon, so you just kind of waste your time and kind of suck. Yeah, and again, I forgot the business turrets. Those things are freaking annoying to go against. We had C4 back. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was a filler season. That is a good way of putting it, I'd say. A filler belongs at B, right in the middle. Better than Resistance, better than... No, we'll put it end of B. Okay, Chapter 3, Season 1. This was a cook, man. This was a cook. Brand new map. Fresh start from all the stupidness and chaos of the cubed chapter 2 map that like got destroyed. Um, I really like this map, and I really wish we could have got more time on it, man. Like the whole desert biome, I loved the desert biome, and then we had like the whole snow area. Later on in the season, we got Covert Canyon. Um, it had the Chug Jug, Mighty Storm Gun, Boombo, Shockwave Launcher, Charge Shotgun. Oh yeah, I forgot I had the charge. Yeah, so even then, like none of those are just worth going for. I mean, the Shockwave Launcher ain't bad, but none of those were just like, oh, you need it. You need it in your inventory to win the game. Um, this was a great season, and I really wish one thing Fortnite would bring back is like they really went hard on the what is it called, like the props being able to move around and be interactable. Like they had the tornadoes, so all of the props would be getting sucked up and getting whipped around the map. So like the props were changeable. They weren't like stationary anymore. Like they're animated. You can move them. They're getting whipped around. You can get hit by them. The tornadoes were cool. I wish they'd bring those back. Um, yeah, and then they had the thunderstorms, which they only put those in for like a freaking week or so, and then they got rid of them because they and never to be seen again. It was a cool idea. I like the thunderstorms. Thunderstorm tornado, and there were supposed to be more, but they scrapped. Yeah, I know they scrapped it. It's stupid. They did bring back tornadoes though in the chapter 3, season 4 with the chrome tornadoes. That was about it, but they stayed in the same spot. Um, yeah, I really wish the weather would make a return. The weather was a really cool change. We had Quambos this season. We had freaking Quambos. We all love Quambos. We had an amazing Winterfest this season. This was the introduction of Sergeant Winter driving around the map in his semi, and that was like a really cool thing at the time. And right during that time, had the Spider-Man Mythics too. So in this, the Spider-Man Mythics alone could almost carry this entire season because that Spider-Man Mythic is the cleanest movement we had in Fortnite to this day. They were just so well optimized and so easy to maneuver around the map. Way better than other actual Marvel produced games. Like the Spider-Man mechanic is the cleanest thing we've seen. They teased combos for so long and they didn't add the back. I know, man. They really need to. The only place to add them back was in Lego. That was about it. And I don't understand why they just don't bring them back to Battle Royale. They're not that. They're not that like game breaking. They're just cute and fun. Um, Butterbarn did make a return in this map, so that's goat status there. And again, the POIs are good, man. We got Covert Canyon. We had the Logjam Lumberyard, Daily Bugle, the volcano, the whole like the sanctuary, that whole island and tropical area was good. The whole desert biome was good. Excuse me. I believe we had Greasy back, right? Or am I tripping? I think we had Greasy back. Sorry, excuse me. Rocky Rio. So we had a new version of Risky. Um, just a great map. I really wish. Oh yeah, and then don't even forget like Fortnite. Why did they remove this? Like they had like where the trees they would tumble and they would roll down the hills, and then the rocks too. You could shoot rocks off. I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Didn't we get back Tilted Towers this season too? I'm pretty sure Tilted came back this season because the snow started to melt over time, and then made Tilted reappear. Was that? Yeah, that was. Dude, this season was a big cook. This was a great season. Crowns were introduced this season as well. Me and my friends still have a little crown competition to this day. Still a fun feature. Everything about this season was great. I have no complaints of it. The battle pass was good too. It was awesome. Definitely an S tier season. I don't think it's above Underground though, for me. Yeah, the Spider-Man gloves. Yep. I already did have my whole talk about those because those carried the season alone. Okay, Chapter 4, Season 2. I liked this season. This season was good. I remember the pulse rifle, man. The pulse rifle was so damn overpowered. Everyone was going for that island to get that pulse rifle. And I think I think that's what was kind of fun. Dude, like it was super overpowered, and not to mention the Havoc shotgun. We had the mythics that you can get in the vaults, and those one pumped. Oh, I felt it was so fun to one pump. Great whirlpool. Kinetic blades were good. Personally, I didn't use the kinetic blades a lot, but I did, and they were good. Like I mean, they were good at the time. Mega City, just an awesome POI, really cool looking POI, fun to fight in. Even though towards the end of that season, not a lot of people went to Mega City anymore, which kind of sucked. Um, yeah, that whole biome was cool. The whole Japanese Oriental biome, very cool. Yeah, I had a lot of fun during the season. I'm looking at the key art, and I forgot like the ODM gear was in this too. That was fun. The ODM gear was fun. Kind of overpowered. Kind of stupid at times. What else is in this season, man? I don't know why I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm missing key aspects. I know the heavy sniper. I've hit some crazy heavy snipes off those little grind rails. Um, yeah, Mega City was great. It was a great POI. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about. I had a lot of fun with this season. A lot of fun. They had those little loot caches. I remember. I think that was also just introduced. Was it though? I think it came this season. The loot caches, or did it come in the season one? I can't remember. But I did like those. Oh, the overpowered slurp juices in this season. Those kind of did break the game a little bit because I think it was stupid when you'd fight someone and they'd just be 100 within seconds. Kind of was annoying. But still, I did like those. Yeah, this is a good season. It's A tier. It has to be. I think out of all these, I think I'm gonna put it there. Come on. I think it's above season three for me because I maybe it's just a little bit of recency bias because I remember more from it, but I'm gonna put it there. I think it belongs there. I think chapter six for me this it's been a little bit more fun than this one for some reason. I don't know. Opinions will change. We'll organize it and get a complete review at the end. Okay, chapter two, season seven. Now this season you just mentioned a little bit ago with picking up your friends and dropping them with the UFOs. This season was a cook, man. I loved this season. This was probably actually one of the most unique seasons of all time, in my opinion, because there's so many new, different things in Fortnite. We had the mothership, that whole game mode where never did be seen before, where you played a mini game within the battle royale map and got loot for it. Like that whole mothership game was so fun. Having the UFO in the sky was like super intimidating. It was like cool to like see. We had the railgun introduction, which was awesome. We had the little recon scanner launcher. We had the ray gun, um, which we never see anything like that either. Something that shot a laser. Moving bosses. Oh, Zig and Choppy. Yeah. Zig and Choppy. Um, yeah, the UFO went around sucking up POIs. We had nanites, those like alien squares, and you'd create like a low gravity zone, or I don't even know what to call it, but like that was super unique. Crafting was still in the game at this time. They didn't completely get rid of it, but they did it in a new way where it was more like side crafting. You can like change your weapon into another weapon more so. You didn't have to like get a weapon to make it. I don't know. They did it better this season. They took the crafting and made it better. Um, the UFOs were just super fun. It was a whole new vehicle, never to see. You could pick up things, throw them, toss them. There's so many glitches with the UFOs, which made this season really fun. I remember like one-shotting people when you pick up a prop and just ramming it into people, and yeah, just a lot of glitches. So many again, just so many new items too. Just the inflatable, that big freaking cow inflatable. Like what the heck was that? But it was like just fun. Um, yeah, the mothership. The mothership was cool. what else? Oh, the plasma cannon, the prop of fire. You can carry a gun and can turn into a prop. The plasma cannon again shot a big plasma laser. The guns and everything. Oh, and then don't forget about the gravitron, where you can, instead of having a UFO, you can have a gun in your hands that can lift up props. We've never just seen anything like this crap before, and I don't understand why Fortnite just kind of shied away from having such uniqueness like that. Yep, the recon. Um, it was a very unique season. I think a lot of people were not happy during this time because it was so kind of chaotic with all that new stuff. And I remember the map changes weren't super substantial either. I know we got like corny crops. Um, the spider got blown up and it was like a big purple lake in the map, or like a lake with a bunch of purple grass around it. I don't remember really any of the other like major POIs. I know all those satellites got put around the map, but yeah, the season wasn't like huge on map changes, which was fine, I think, because like everything else made up for it. The live event of this season was great. It was a great live event, and the whole build up to it was great. Like just like kind of finding out that Sloane's the bad guy was just like a well, we didn't like know it officially until like the very end, but like people were theorizing it, and that whole build up was just a fun time. Great season, and this one honestly is an S tier for me. It's an S tier. Ooh, and here we got back to back S tiers. Chapter 2, Season 4. This one is like, again, like we had the Chapter 2, Season 2, GOAT, and then we had Chapter 2, Season 3, really good, and Chapter 2, Season 4. So that Fortnite was just so cooking right there. Like the 3 seasons in a row, they're just cooking, man. They're just absolutely going bonkers. The whole build up for Galactus was a awesome feature. I really like that whole aspect of just seeing him slowly getting closer and closer every day. Doom season was trying to be a direct copy, yeah, and it didn't even come close. Um, the all the superpowers were just so fun. Like, oh man, this season's just so nostalgic. It's like flooding my head right now. But yeah, all the superhero mythics, great. Like Starks, this whole Stark Industries when that came in. Oh my gosh, was that so fun? That was so cool. It was super unique. Just having a big like, just I don't know, chunk of land just land on our map, and it brought like such a cool POI. And then yeah, like not to mention all the Stark the Unibeam, Thor's hammer, Doom's stuff, Groot's ball, like all those are cool. And then even then, like we had like little tiny POIs land on our map, chunks of land on our map, like they're taking them from the Marvel universe and just sticking them onto our map, and it was kind of cool. The map was forever changing. We had those big gorgers, those big robots that you could fight for loot. That was super cool. Loot pool was fantastic at the time. I mean, we had pumps back. I'm pretty sure. Um, we had the Stark rifles, which is like everyone was carrying. Everyone was carrying some sort of mythic power with them too. It was good. And then they even released a Marvel knockout mode, like similar to the Operation knockout, so you can like really use the superpowers. Just a great season, man. It was a great season. I think everyone has super nostalgic feelings from this season. It was a fun time, and then when we got that Galactus event, it hit hard. They did good with it. I do think we defeated them a little bit too fast, in my opinion, but it's still a really cool event. Yeah, peak player count. A lot of people are on. Just a good time. I really wish Doom could have actually been something like Nexus War, but it just wasn't. POI changes weren't great. I mean, we had Doom's domain. I really think that's about it. Oh, I don't remember, or sorry, don't forget about the Quinjets that land around the map. You can land at Quinjets and you can get some Stark loot there. You can get some pulse rifles. That was a cool feature. There's a lot of cool things in this season that just make it so good. It's like almost up there. I think it might have to be number 2, honestly, in my opinion. I think it has to be number 2 behind Chapter 2, Season 2. Yeah, you could. That's right. That was like kind of the start of that too. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like the Quinjets, yeah, you would knock them and you could get them on your team. That was NPCs before NPCs. Okay, chapter 1, season 9. Oh, this was a very love-hate relationship season, I think, for most people. They took away our pump shotgun for the first time ever and gave us the combat, which no one liked at first, but then once like the season went on, and this was another kind of longer season, once the season went on, people started liking them more. And I did too. I kind of got used to it and enjoyed it. Um, the whole future theme, they kind of ruined the favorites. They took away Tilted Towers from us as well and gave us Neo Tilted, which same concept but futuristic tilted, just didn't hit the same as Tilted Towers. Um, the whole turbines going around, the wind tunnels going around the map, that was a really cool feature. That's like one thing I really liked about this season. But yeah, Mega Mall, just a crappy POI. No one really liked Mega Mall. Pressure Plant was cool, and I remember Pressure Plant was really cool when they started building up towards the live event for the robot versus a monster. That event carries the season very hard for sure. That was a cook. Um, but yeah, the whole I remember was it this season the 0 point was like in a was it 0 point loose this season? No, I think it was just no, I think the 0 point was just like it was like still in that metal container or like the metal like I don't even know what you want to call it, but like it was like a big metal ring kind of under Loot Lake. I think it was dug up, but like you could it was like closed or something. I can't remember too much, but they were pumping power from it to power all of the futuristic stuff. I know that was the reasoning. But yeah, the whole build up to the live event was cool, and that carries. We had the World Cup during this season, so that kind of got a lot of people hype. And I remember a lot of sweaty players during this time. It was a solid season. Like looking back at it, I don't think it was Fortnite's greatest, and they kind of took away what the community loved a bit, but they tried something different. They were just taking a new approach. But I'm gonna put it B tier. I don't think I can put it lower than that. Okay, the start of our new chapter, chapter 2, season 1. Um, Honestly, at first it was really good, but this is probably one of the most boring seasons I've ever played. I remember they only released one update during this whole entire time, and this is, I believe, is still to this day the longest season of Fortnite they've ever released. It kept getting delayed. Um, I remember they did like a yeah, it led to the but still that's a different season. We're gonna just talk about just season 1. On I remember they had like a little Valentine's event where they released like a little battle towards the end. They had the harpoon update. They had the Star Wars update. Um, it was just such a boring season. I mean, it was cool like right away because after the black hole event, we saw our new map. It was like, oh my god, we've been waiting for this moment our whole lives. We're finally on a new map. We got the new map. We loved it. We were exploring it. New mechanics, swimming, boats, um, everything about it was like fun at first. But then just a lack of updates from all of the chaos of the previous season just was like, okay, are you guys gonna like touch your game now, or is it just gonna sit here? And they let it sit there. They just let us use bare bone weapons again, just pretty much ARs, snipers, and shotguns. Back to the back to what we were originally started with when Fortnite started, which was nice at first, but like I don't know, it was just boring. It was just boring, man. No map changes. Oh, who's inviting me on Fortnite? Oh, I'll just close Fortnite quick. Yeah, I don't think this season was a great one. I'm trying to think of where to put it because I don't know if I could put it D tier. Oh, D tier might be a bit too much, but I don't know if I could put it C tier either. I don't. That's what I might need help with. I might put it top of. I might put it top of D. I think it's bottom of C. I think it's bottom of C. Yeah, top of D, bottom of C. I think bottom of C. I don't think it's like because it's not like a. It was just a bore. It's not a bad season. It's a boring season. And when Fortnite's boring, I mean, I guess that kind of makes it bad. But like, still, I just view it as more like boring rather than bad. Okay, chapter 4, season 3, Wilds. Cool. I remember we were super hype to have a jungle biome come back to the game. And while the jungle biome looked like super pretty, it just wasn't. It just didn't hit, man. The jungle biome just didn't hit. There was so many plants, so many different things going on. Mud. There was different like bugs, like the wasps, and just so many things going on within that jungle biome, like little explosion plants and everything. It was just like over. When you entered that biome, it was like, how can you even fight in that biome? You know, the trees are super tall. There's people sitting on top of trees. There's people hiding bushes, and even the plants that are everywhere. People are flinging crap at you. It was just it was the jungle biome was too much. The vines, they were kind of, I mean, they're like the grind rows, but they're just still like clunky. Um, it was just not the greatest season ever. The loot pool was bland. This the POIs are very bad. I mean, like despite the jungle biome, the POIs within the jungle biome sucked like really bad. I remember, is this the season the drum came back, right? Or like some sort of auto like drum firing shotgun came back this season, and that kind of sucked. I believe we still had some anime freaking overpoweredness in this season. I believe the Deku Smash might have been this season, or one of the anime super overpowered mythics were in this season. The only things that carried this season a little bit was the introduction of the Mammoth Pistol, especially the Mammoth Pistol is probably one of the best items or best weapons in this game to this day. And I'm sad they removed it. I'm sad they removed it from Reload because it's so fun. And then they introduced the repeater rifle, which that weapon's pretty good too. And that was in our chapter 6 season 1 season here. But yeah, I even with the Mammoth Pistol, it came around like 3 weeks before the season ended, so we didn't even get that much time with it. And same with the repeater, it came towards the end as well. This season was just not great, but I don't remember like hating it and stuff like I did some of these other seasons. So I'm gonna put it bottom of C. I'd actually say top of D. It has to be top of D. Yeah. I don't know. I have to think about that. Okay, I'm gonna go potty quick. I have to go. I've been I've been holding it in like this whole time. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Chapter 5, Season 2. Where am I gonna put you? Um, Chapter 5, Season 2, Myths and Mortals. See, this, I was so hyped for this season, man. I was so excited for this season because in the early days of Fortnite, I remember to this day, I gave feedback to Fortnite saying, can you add three things to Fortnite? That being The Witcher, Metallica, and a Greek mythology season. And then I remember I expanded on the Greek mythology season by like giving them ideas, which they never took my ideas, of course, because I remember saying they should have a labyrinth for that, like a centaur can guard or something like that, and that could be a boss that roams around the labyrinth. Um, yeah, I remember I was super hyped when I found out they're actually doing a Greek mythology season. Then this season came out. It was fun at first, but this was actually just another really boring season to me. I don't know why. I think this season was just very boring. The lightning bolts were kind of overpowered. The chains of Hades were, I wouldn't say they're overpowered, but they're kind of good. It had its use. Um, yeah, it died really fast, Joe. Yeah, right. It did die really fast. It just, I don't know why. They didn't really change much since like the beginning of it. The medallions were very weak. We did get the Gatekeeper shotgun, which to this day the Gatekeeper shotgun is probably one of the best shotguns Fortnite's ever introduced. Um, and then the only thing that carried probably was the Gatekeeper, Cerberus shotgun, and then the medallion, the Cerberus medallion. Those things carried this season a little bit. We still had snipers. They were heavily nerfed. It was a lot harder to hit a snipe. Um, yeah, I remember Zeus. Zeus was not worth going for. He dropped a mythic DMR, which just makes no sense. And then he only dropped his lightning bolt, which is still only like okay. He could have dropped his lightning bolt, but he could have had like more charges or something like that. It was just the same lightning bolt that you can find in a chest. So it just didn't make sense. And then his medallion just wasn't worth it. Like the super jump and super speed, it wasn't great because you can only use it with your stamina. So it went with your stamina. And then the whole like Brawler's Battleground, that was just a lame POI. The extra damage to your scoped weapons, like who cares? Like it was like only 2 or 3 damage, and the medallions or the AR just the I forget what it was, the Warforged AR or something like that. It's kind of sucked too. It just was I don't know. It was like a reverse from the. See, I have Underground season one and S tier. It was just it just didn't live. I was so excited to go into this season two, man. I just wish it wasn't as boring. They did release Floor's Lava. It was like the gold lava instead with like the Midas returning. And then they could have done so much more with the story, dude. It's Greek mythology. It's it's like pure lore, man. Like what is Fortnite thinking? They could have done so much more. The whole like just the I know the dude like with the sword, the statue, he like charged up, and then like made it bounce around, and it caused like the sandstorm to make it season three. But it could have been. This season could have been so much more. If they did a lot of good lore and story in this season, it probably would be higher. But and then if they did more updates, yeah, I think it's very middle range. I don't think it's. I think it's. I don't know. I can't tell you if chapter four season four is better. It's between this and this. I think to me it's right here. I think it's behind chapter 4 season 4 a little bit. Yeah, I think it's perfect right there. Okay, what do we got here? Chapter 4 season 1 again a brand new map. And I do like this map. I looking back at it, I do like some POIs out of it. I remember Shattered Slabs and Breakwater Bay and Brutal Bastion were ones that we landed at a lot. Breakwater Bay, especially, it had like those four little houses that were next to it, and that was kind of my landing spot for a while because it had like the Oathbound chests. I liked this season a lot. I really did. The Thunder Pump was great. The Shockwave Hammer was freaking amazing. One of my favorite things in this game. I wish they would bring that back, but I don't think they ever will. The Excalibur, I loved that weapon too. The Excalibur was cool. Some other new cool like um different types of items. We had like that owl that you could like fly around and like go pick up items and scan things, and that was cool. And no one really used it, but it was still a cool feature. You can also use it as a shield. Or no, that was not the Falcon. But they also had a shield that you're gonna like throw. Oh yeah, Anvil Square. I didn't really land Anvil Square. I liked it, but I didn't really care about Anvil Square to be honest with you. I don't know why. Wasn't my favorite POI. Um, there was a faulty splits in this season, I believe too. Yeah, right. Faulty splits. Yeah, that's what it's called. The bowling alley place. That was cool. I like the whole like rocks, like the kinetic rocks that you can like launch around the map as well. It was a good season. What Slappy Shores is another good POI. Um, yeah, I don't really have complaints. I really enjoyed the season. I thought it was a great time. The Citadel was a cool POI. I really liked that POI. It gave agency vibes. Honestly, it gave pretty close to agency vibes. I think it's in an A tier for me. I don't think it's S tier, but I think it's in an A tier. Above Chapter 6 Season 1, I don't know, and I don't think it's above Season 2. And I don't think it's above, I think it's at bottom of A tier. I think bottom of A tier is perfect for that. Okay, Season X, Chapter 1, Season 10, Season X. This one. This one was probably Fortnite's most unique season. I'll give it that. It's probably one of Fortnite's most unique seasons. Never have we had it where you enter a certain POI and it'd be a different way of playing the game, like with every single POI. The whole what do they call them? Rift zones, the whole bubbles around POIs. It was a cool idea. I just wish they would have done it better. The only cool one to me was Tilted Town. Like that was zero build before zero build. Like I thought that was really cool to have like an old western town where you couldn't build in it. It was just purely shooting. Um, but then you had like rift zones like Taco Time where they did bring back Greasy, but it was just not fun to even go to Greasy Grove because you're just getting freaking Taco Time all the time. Mid fight, you'd be fighting someone and just have to do Taco Time. And then you had the the props in Moisty Palms they called it, and then zombies in retail, and no one likes zombies. Everyone hates zombies. Um, so yeah, if they would have done those rift zones way better, I think it could have been cooler. But that isn't even really what caused the season to be so bad. The mechs, man. If the mechs were not in this season, I think this season would be not as bad as it is. But the mechs killed the game, bro. Player count was down. They just absolutely killed their game. Fortnite just wasn't listening to the community at the time because they left the mechs be so overpowered for weeks, and people were like just absolutely crying, just like to change it. Like everybody, even like bad people included, like no one was like happy about these mechs, man. They were just so broken, so overpowered. But Fortnite wasn't doing a thing about them. They destroyed POIs, destroyed builds, destroyed everything in minutes, and they did like 50 damage at first. I think they did eventually nerf it, so like the rockets shot slower and did less damage, but still it was so. And then they nerfed the health of the mechs too. It was just still so overpowered, and yeah, those mechs are just they're traumatizing. Like you think back to season 10, and all you can think about is just the flashbacks of getting wrecked by a mech, man. Um, Battle Pass was sick though. The remix, they did a really good job with the remixes. The floating meteor in the sky was cool. The build up to the live event was amazing. Amazing live event, one of the best of all time. With the black hole, one of the most iconic things of all time of Fortnite. But that's still like not the season itself. It was a pretty unbearable season. Uh, I remember I did like I think I reached level 99 and I was super pissed because level 100 was all you can get to back then, and it was really hard to get to level 100 back in the day. Um, this was back when like levels and battle pass I think was like split pretty much. And yeah, I remember I got to like level 99 and then the season ended and I was really pissed because like back then you'd get like banners and stuff or banners and sprays representing like that you reached it. Um so I did play this season quite a bit, but I remember not having like the greatest amount of fun playing it. I think it's got to be in D, but the place where it's got to go, I don't know. Wilds was definitely better. I think Paradise might be better. Um, I honestly think it might go here. I think I honestly might have had a little bit of a better time playing Fortnite because to me, I like chaos in the game, but the chaos was a little bit over too much in this time period. But still, I think I had a little bit more fun than these seasons here. I think right there is perfect. Chapter 1, Season 5. Okay. This was another really good season. A lot of people were playing during this time. The desert, the whole like build up because then they did the rocket event and then like all the rift things started happening in real life in California where the Durburger was in the desert and people were like, "What is happening? Like, what is this game? This is so unique." After that rocket ship and everything, the game just became super unique. And yeah, it brought us to the desert biome. And then Lazy Links, and then the Viking Village. A lot of map changes with this, but the desert biome's like the main one. Um, Paradise, one of the most iconic locations. BRB 10 minutes. All right. Um, yeah, Paradise being one of the most like beloved locations, and then even like the little Mexico town. I call it Mexico. Um, with the little like houses. I don't know what you want, like the clay houses on the south of the map. I That was like my landing spot during this. They introduced like golf carts and then even rifts where you could teleport around, go into them and teleport. It was a good time. Toys they introduced. Battle Pass was great. Uh, Kevin the Cube came during this time. It was a fun time. I think everyone was having a lot of fun. I remember I had a lot of fun with my friends. But I think I don't think. To me, it's hard because it could be A tier. I think it has to be A tier, but I don't think it's beating some of these. Um, I'm gonna put it bottom of A tier. I think bottom of A tier makes the most sense for me. Okay, chapter 1, season 4. Oh, this was a good time. The meteor finally hit. The Dusty Divot was a really cool POI. We got the introduction of Risky, the Risky Reels challenge, where you got to search 7 chests with the visitor. The story really started to build here, and then really made us curious and like follow along with this game. Um, yeah, this was a good time. We got Thanos, our first ever like collaboration during this time period, and Thanos is so iconic. I remember I only got to play with him for like a little bit of time because I was on vacation, and then when I came back, he was going to be only in for like a couple more days. So I kind of missed out on like a whole week worth of Thanos, but I did get to use him. I did. I don't think I actually won with Thanos when I got him, but yeah, the whole Thanos thing, the whole Dusty Divot, the loot pool is just fresh and clean. We got hop rocks. Battle pass was good. We still like talk about Omega to this day. Everyone does. I think it's just I think this season was like pretty just I wouldn't say perfect, but it was just like fun. I mean, it was just like good. There's nothing to hate about it. I definitely think. Ooh, is it? I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say there. I'm gonna say there for now. I actually think I put it top of A. I might have to switch some things around here. Looking back on it. Okay, chapter 1, season 6. This is kind of a letdown season for me. Honestly, it's not a fun one. I think the theme was cool and the floating island was cool, but I don't know, man. Just something about this season. I think like this the we got the introduction of legendary purple shotguns, if I remember correctly. But they brought back zombies, and I remember just that whole thing just sucked, and the whole like becoming like the ghost or whatever you want to call it, like you eat the crystals and you can like fly around the map and stuff, and like the little corrupted biomes. I don't know. It just kind of was. I wasn't doing it for me this season. I think a lot of people can agree. I wasn't a fan of this season. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put a C tier. I remember just not like having the greatest time. Is it better? Hmm. It might be better. I don't know, man. I think it goes there. And I think, yeah, I think right there. Okay. We got Absolute Doom, Chapter 5, Season 4. Honestly, a big letdown. Big letdown. I can't tell you why I just didn't like this one. Joey kind of said it earlier in the chat. It just kind of it was trying to be Nexus War but failed. Um, it just I don't know. The jetpacks sucked. I didn't like the jetpacks. It ruined the game. None of them. All the medallions sucked. None of them were good. The mythics and the superpowers honestly kind of like the superhero stuff just all kind of sucked, man. Like everything about this mode or about this season is supposed to be focused on like superheroes and stuff, but or sorry, like it's the superhero stuff should be guaranteed to be fun and good to use because like it is a superhero season. So to have everything just be kind of as crappy as it was with all the superhero stuff, it sucked. Like the Black Panther stuff, not good. The Captain American shield wasn't worth carrying. Um, the Monarch pistol was fun. That's not really a superpower though. Doom stuff wasn't worth carrying. Uh, when the War Machine's arsenal was like first out, it was worth carrying because it was super overpowered. But once it was nerfed, it sucked. The jetpack was the only thing worth it. What else did we have? I'm trying to think, man. Iron Man stuff was cool, but it just to me it wasn't worth carrying. I don't know. Just the whole flying thing. I get beamed out of the air, and it just wasn't worth it. I don't know. This season just could have been a lot better, and then they didn't do anything with the story. It was the most lame thing they've ever and cop out thing I've ever seen Fortnite do. That whole like mini live event was so stupid. It was the most like, oh wow, let's build up to make Doom seem like this ultimate bad guy, like by placing like people he killed around his castle and having Galactus' head in the ocean, but only to get wrecked by some guns and play like us as players within a matter of an hour. Like what the heck is that? And he was just never to be seen again. Like how is that how we defeat him? There should have been like some epic battle or something like with superpowers, but it was like we shot guns at him and he died. What is that? It was so stupid. It was so lame. So yeah, this one was bad, and I think it's gotta be D tier for me, honestly. I'd say here. I'd say right there. Okay, we got the last one here. Chapter 1, Season 8. This was a free battle pass, if I remember correctly, and this one was like really hyped because this one was going to be competition against Apex Legends at the time, and that just came out. So like, everyone was hyped to see how Fortnite was going to compete. Um, and I think they did compete well. I think they did. I remember after waiting for Chapter 2, Season 7 to end because it was a long and we were excited for this one. The jungle biome was cool. The volcano was cool. None of the POIs are like super like great to land at. The new POIs all kind of suck. Like Sunny Steps, the like Aztec temple place kind of wasn't worth it. And Lazy Lagoon, it was really pretty looking, but just kind of not a fun POI to loot because of the water. You couldn't swim at the time. Pressure Plant was like mainly where people are landing. Um, And at this time, we still, I believe, had we or sorry, we did have Tilted and retail still, so people would just land there. Anyways, it was good. We had like pirate cannons, the boombo. I loved the boombo. The boombo kind of carries the season. We had the introduction of Peely, which Peely is an icon, so kind of gives it a little bit of love there. But other than that, the battle pass did kind of blow. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think this one's just like an in betweener. I think it goes perfectly next. It's kind of like a forgettable season. I mean, it was a fun time. I remember they introduced like treasure maps and stuff, flint knock pistol. So some of like the iconic stuff did come from this season. But I don't know. The memories just aren't like coming back to me for some reason. I don't like think back too much about this season. So it's like kind of very in the middle, and I think it's just a little bit behind season 7 there. Okay, I think that's a pretty good list. Let me just kind of brush it over and see if I want to change anything around. Let's just start from the top. Season 2, that's there, guaranteed. That's there. That's there for sure. I think, I think all of these honestly perfect in the S tier. I don't know if I want to bump anything up. I honestly think I want to bump up these two a bit and push back these because these were great seasons, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun with this previous season here. I had a lot of fun with Chapter 6, Season 1. They're starting off really good to this chapter. I'm going to boost this up and Mega up to here. Honestly, I might put Mega all the way up here, man. I just have so much. I think that's perfect for it. I think Mega belongs right there. Yeah. I think that's looking better, and I think I want to put this above that and that. I think that looks good right there. And I think that's good right there. And honestly, I think the original season is as nostalgic as it was. I think I just had a lot more fun during those time periods there. Am I happy with that? I think so. I think this might get changed. Maybe some things might become S tier. Maybe this will be too at some point. But I think right now it's like too soon to call it S tier until I live out the rest of this chapter, and then I can make a full assumption. B tier looks good. I honestly think that's a perfect B tier. C tier looks pretty good to me. Yeah, I think that list is honestly good. Is Vibe in my worst season of all time? I think it might be. That's kind of crazy to say. Like Chapter 2, Season 2 best. Chapter 3, Season 3 worst. I think that's pretty fair for me. That's my personal opinions. I hope I don't piss any of you off. You ain't gonna change my opinions, probably. But yeah, it's a solid list. What did you guys think? What's your favorites? Let me know in the comments section. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for tagging along with me. And we'll see you guys in the next one. We'll see you guys in chapter 2. Chapter 2. We'll see you guys in season 2, Lawless. I'm hoping that's going to be a fun time. It looks pretty promising. They're doing some good build up for it. Not really story wise. I mean, that little mini live event was pretty cool with like the Shogun X and Dago fighting. It was cool. But yeah, like the whole like just like the Dill Pickle doing some like music video. The trailer looks pretty fun. It's looking out to be a good time, but we'll see. Only time will tell. We'll find out tomorrow. And we'll probably do one of these ranking videos sometime in the future again and see where I'm thinking. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning along. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you